Hi, good evening, everyone. Good afternoon for those people who are viewing from the Philippines and here in Canada. It's good evening. Thank you very much for tuning in. And of course, let's just wait for the other people to be joining us today. Today is unscheduled. Actually, usually we do the live streaming every Friday, as you're all aware, Friday here in Canada and Saturday in the Philippines. However, since as you are all aware, due to COVID-19 pandemic, there's a lot of shortage, or I mean, laying off of jobs here. So right now, we are not working, and for sure, there's a lot of people out there just viewing from your houses. So I would like to make sure that this would be an opportunity for us to do some time to get to know each other, and at the same time to answer your questions with regards to Canada immigration. So we do this every week, and as I've mentioned in the past, as I've said in the past, I will be actually providing or will be doing to share or to discuss some ideas or what people could do while there is lockdown or while there are no jobs available here in Canada yet. Because remember, sooner, soon everything will go well. Everything will go back to normal, and this is the best time as well for you to start preparing so that when the opportunity comes, you are ready. It would be easier for you to start applying for jobs, right? So for now, we're just waiting for others to be joining us here. So we are in your questions, throw in your questions, and definitely we will do our best to provide you the answers and help you to um, find your way of immigrating here in Canada. So at first, of course, if you are online or if you are viewing in, please, I would appreciate put in the comments section, type in the comment. Um, if you're from overseas, at least put the country where you are watching from. So at least it would be a good opportunity for us as well. And maybe if you have some ideas or tips, maybe other people who are also watching right now would have an opportunity to learn from each other, right? So the same as what I was sharing before. For example, how I got the job offer from my sister, and now she's an immigrant here in Canada. I was so thankful because of a Facebook group called Successful in Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. So that is a Facebook group that I created when I was starting my application here in Canada, and it was very quick, very fast. I was just sharing some tips, some information, how I went through the process, what are the things that I did to prepare, and how I got the job offer, which I was very thankful. And at the same time, I was answering questions from other people being posted in that Facebook group. So what I have been doing is I have been interacting with people. So how I got the job offer or how I found an employer for my sister is one day I was chatting from with one of the guys, member of our Facebook group, and he was asking me about how is the processing or what are the things that he should be preparing, how should he fill up the form for AIPP Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. So I was surprised, and he told me that he shared with me that he got a job offer from an AIPP designated employer in New Brunswick, Canada. So the company was a call center. So I asked him what are his qualifications. Obviously, I was thinking that he was working as a customer service representative or someone who is working in a call center somewhere else. And he told me that he's actually working as a librarian. So I was intrigued. I was surprised. Like, how would a librarian end up getting a job offer to work as a customer service representative as in a call center here in Canada? So I asked him more details, more information, and I get to learn about the employer. I asked as well the human resources contact, and he gave it to me. And after some time, I actually forwarded it to my sister. I asked her, "Oh, send your resume here. Person actually I chatted, spoke with, just get an offer, and will be processed for an immigration here in Canada through Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program." So I gave the contact details to my sister. I told her to apply, to send her CV, to send her resume, and that's what she did. Um, she was not giving me update until one day, I think after 3 weeks or 4 weeks from the time that I gave her the contact details of the human resources department. She actually told me that she already got the job and she's already processing her application for permanent residence. So I was surprised and I was happy for her. And that is why I actually very thankful of this Facebook group, because this Facebook group and this kind of forums, because one day you would not know, right? Because maybe sometimes you are just looking, trying to read for some tips and advice or some updates. But sometimes you would be surprised because you are already getting, I mean, people are already, how do you say that? People are already providing you, and you're not actually 100% sure, or you're not aware that the person you are speaking with is the one who would actually help or provide you your the job offer that you're looking for here in Canada, right? So right now, my sister immigrated here in Canada. She arrived in January this year, and she's in New Brunswick right now. We are here in Alberta. I'm here in Alberta, and oh, for those people who are watching in Facebook page, please thumbs up. I would be requiring thumbs up or at least any comment, guys. I'm not getting any comments yet on YouTube. So I'm not sure if there's something wrong with my settings. One second, let me see first. Okay. Okay, just give me a sec. Okay, there it all. There's it. Okay, we're okay now. So yeah, what I'm saying is I'm very happy. And then things go well here in Canada, and then suddenly this COVID-19 pandemic started. And unfortunately, I understand that this pandemic outbreak is not just happening here in Canada. It is happening all over the world. And first, I would like to wish all of you that I hope you are all safe. Please stay at home and let us self isolate or practice social distancing, because people are just thinking it's a very simple gesture. However, it would really mean a lot, or it would actually our best solution to get rid of this virus. Why social distancing? Or why is it important to stay at home? Because as you are all aware, guys, the disease stays in a person for 14 days average, right? So within that period, of course, the virus, for it to spread, it has to have another person or another host to pass to, right? So if we are actually practicing social distancing and we are self isolating, then there is no way for a person to pass the virus in case that person is contaminated or sick. And of course, once a person gets well or recovers from COVID-19 disease, there is no more chance that he will get the same virus because of the antibodies um, that have been formed in his or her body. So that's why it is very important that we practice self quarantine and social distancing. And a matter of speaking of that, I know in the Philippines, the President Duterte, just announced the extension of um, the quarantine, the community extended community quarantine until end of April. So please, guys, be safe. This would be a very good opportunity for you to stay at home and at the same time start preparing. If you really want to immigrate here in Canada, then this is your best chance of doing it, because you know you're not working, you're not going out, then what's the best thing to do other than learning the programs, study the programs, watch videos, and start preparing for the requirements that you would be needing in order to immigrate here in Canada. So, Abing, kumusta po kayo dyan? Hi, Sir Ray. Greetings from Dubai. And like Hajimon, currently Canada stopped all immigration process. No, it is not true. So Canada immigration is still continuing despite this problem. So if there are people or if your application is already on process, it is still being processed. However, it might take a little longer right now. There might be some delays. Why? Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, most offices are actually working from home or they do skeletal workforce, meaning not everyone is actually going to the office to work. So if there are more applications, so there are less people or less work times that they are actually attending to those applications. But don't worry, the process are still open. The thing that has stopped or that has closed is employers providing job offers. As you are all aware, most of the or a lot of the immigration programs to come and immigrate here in Canada are job related or employment driven programs. So what does that means? That means that for you to immigrate here in Canada, you need to get a job offer. A job offer is your pathway because that would open your opportunities or that is a requirement of the program. So for example, Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, Provincial Nomination Program, Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program. These programs needs or requires a job offer. So with the employment ban or I mean closure of businesses, people getting laid off here in Canada. So I would say that getting a job right now is impossible. So that's why I'm saying if you really, really want to immigrate here in Canada and you do not have the job offer yet, then the best thing for you to do is to start preparing your application, preparing your CV, preparing your requirements and other documents. And speaking of CV or and resume, I just created and uploaded a new video about this Canada immigration standardized format resume. So I know I have been receiving that question or that query from a lot of people asking for me to help them with their resume. So that's why I created that video. On that video, I actually tackled one by one what are the things that you need to do when you're preparing your resume. I also did one by one the steps, the parts of your resume, how would your resume should look like, and why is it very important for you to have a Canada standard resume. And it's very important because, as I said, your resume is or your CV is how you market yourself. Imagine you are actually applying for a company that doesn't know you. So even though you're the best employee in your previous jobs, the only way for an employer to see you is through a resume or a CV. And that is why it is very important because you are providing a first impression first impression to the employer. And if your CV or resume is not well written, there are a lot of spelling errors, grammar errors, and it's not well formatted, basically you are actually telling or giving a message to the employer not to hire you because one thing, you are not prepared, you are not organized, and there is not this is my just personal opinion, right? And the employer will think that you are not the best fit for the job. And there are a lot of people, I always keep on saying this, during when you are applying for a job, you are not just competing for yourself, but you are also competing with the people from Canada. You are competing with the people who are interested to come here in Canada from your country and also from other countries. So the competition is very high if you're applying for a job here in Canada. That is why it is very important for you to make sure that your CV or your resume will stand out and the employer will immediately or automatically notice you, right? And you would be called for an interview. So if you are interested or if you know what are the things that you want to do on your resume, I mean, how if you want also some help to do your resume, I'm okay with that. You can actually send me a message. If you want, you can send me your copy of resume and I will have it reviewed and of course give you feedback. That is what I could do for now. And also hopefully when the opportunity comes or when this COVID-19 pandemic is over, then you could start sending your application and get an interview for sure because your resume would be more your resume for those people who are or who just log in. Hi, hi Sabrina, Misty, hi Lala Khan Afridi, and those are the people watching in our Facebook page. Don't forget to say hi, hi, hi. People who are on YouTube live, I'm not receiving any comment from you guys, but I hope that you are all safe. Today, I will also be talking about why I am so happy about living here in Canada. One thing is because, as you are all aware, because of this pandemic, um, I lost my job. I have been laid off temporarily from my job and will be asked to come back when everything goes back to normal. So right now I'm just staying at home. However, I'm still happy because the Canada government is actually providing social assistance, cash assistance to everyone or to all people who have been very much affected by this COVID-19. For people who has lost their jobs, have been laid off due to business closures or business levels, we are actually going to get social assistance from the government. And just to share with you and to inspire you to push your dreams to immigrate here in Canada, for example, all Canadians, citizens, permanent residents, and um, foreign work permits who actually have been laid off from the job will be receiving the Canada Emergency Response Benefit or CERB. Maybe you have read it, you've seen it in the news. Everyone will be receiving $2 million in peso. It's like 70,000 pesos or 70 to 80,000 pesos every month, just given to by the employee by the Canada government. So we are very thankful with that. And hopefully, I know in your countries as well, I hope that the government is also helping you, supporting you in this time of crisis. So Lala Khan Aridi. Okay, so her question is, when you did preparation for IELTS, how much did you require IELTS? The question is a bit not clear. However, I'll be honest, when I was actually taking my IELTS, I did not prepare for it. So I was confident that I would be able to get the I would get a good score because when I actually applied or took the IELTS exam and I have been talking or conversing in English for some. You are still not confident, you can always practice and practice. And of course, I understand that there are sometimes, even though you know what you're doing, under pressure it's difficult to perform. So what you could do is, I would say, for example, is to start watching TV series, English TV series or movies. Why? Because I would want you to be more familiar with the English, the way people are actually talking in English, their accent, and try to understand and comprehend without actually, for example, without reading the subtitle. Because one of the component of an IELTS exam is the listening. So I would really, really recommend that. So you need to make sure that you continuously watching it and read books in English, read novels, read short stories, or as long as it's in English, it would actually um, practice. It would actually develop your skills in communication. You could also start writing. For example, write letters, write paragraphs, write essays, because those kind of things is very important, especially for the IELTS exam. Okay. Okay, Lekha Jaimon, CD sent to your messenger, not in my messenger, please. On the Facebook page. Okay, send it on the Facebook page. Yeah, message me on the Facebook page, and definitely I will do my best to go through your resumes and provide you feedback. Okay, but before you do that, please watch the video first about making the resume, because I'm not gonna do your resume. I want you to watch the video about formatting your CV or resume to a Canadian standard format. And if you want or if you need assistance, send it to me so I can see that. I can go through it and read it, for me to see if you have followed the format. But if you're just sending it for me to see it without even trying to format it, I will not reply. I'm telling you that. I want you to put an effort as well, because I'm just here to help, but I'm not doing it for you. And for those people who just log in, please, I would appreciate a thumbs up, or a comment, especially on our YouTube live streaming and our Facebook page live streaming as well. I'm not receiving any questions right now. So, questions. So, what we are doing here, why I'm doing this live streaming, is for me to give you the answers. If you have any questions or concerns, or if you want me to clarify something about Canada immigration, so let's talk about it. So since there's no questions, then I will just feel free to talk about any specific topic. So um, okay, I'll continue. Why am I doing this? Why am I actually providing tips or discussing Canada immigration? Because as you are all aware, I was also once like you, looking for an opportunity to come and immigrate here in Canada, which actually came true in 2018. I program that my sister actually used or processed her permanent residence here in Canada. So the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. Oh, I see. Someone messaged me that actually they are sending message in YouTube. Seems you are not able to see it. Yes, I'm not actually seeing it. Just let me see. Let me try. I type in Julius Parco. Hi. Let me just give me a second, okay? I'll see what I can do. I'm not sure what is happening, but just give me a second. I'll have to end the streaming and then I'll reconnect, okay? Just give me a second. Let me fix it. I don't know what's wrong with this. Just 1 second, guys. Please bear with me. I don't know why. What is going on here? I'll try to fix it. Okay. Unable to connect to chat. Okay, for those people who are streaming, watching in our live streaming in YouTube, just 1 second. I'll end the stream and I'll redo it. Okay, just 1 second.